so today I want to talk about Christian nationalism. Now, this is something I didn't really know till yesterday what the definition of. Just something they say on the news. They say Christian nationalism is one of the greatest dangers to America today. And so I actually found out what Christian nationalism meant. Okay, so it means that you are a Christian and you believe in America, and that you put God and your God-given rights and then America and the government second. Okay? Think about that. God first, government second. That makes you a Christian nationalist. You're the type of person that might vote based on your belief in something in the Bible. Well, that makes you real dangerous, doesn't it? Because you might not go for whatever they're telling you that's completely immoral today based on your biblical teachings. That's where we're at. Basically, the government's here, God's here. Now take away God, because the people in the government don't believe God exists. That means the government has to be God. We have people in government who are aspiring to deity. They don't believe God exists, so they believe the government has to be God over all the people. They have to make all of the laws, the rules, the morality, all of that for the people. The problem is the people who are in charge, who don't believe in God, have no moral compass. Okay? That's a bad thing. You can look at politicians. They're not known for being highly moral individuals, typically, at all levels. So, in ancient Rome, I know many of you have heard that they used to throw Christians to the lions. I heard that, and I never really thought about why that was, okay? Because if I'm a Christian, I'm paying my taxes, I'm helping people, I'm being good, I'm spreading the word, but I'm not hurting anyone. Why would you toss me in with lions? Well, it turns out that the Christians wouldn't say that Caesar was a god. When they were asked, and they said, we need you to swear fealty to the god Caesar, they say, there's only one God, and it ain't that man who's in charge. We'll give him respect as the emperor, but we can't say he's God. And that's why they threw him to the lions, okay? Because the state in Rome was the god, and they wouldn't acknowledge it. Therefore, they had to be killed, because no matter how much they were put in prison or told, they wouldn't go along with it. So just killing them for sport is what the Romans did. So you kind of have to understand that in the Bible it says that in the latter days evil will be called good and good will be called evil. So look at our current situation now and tell me, are things that when you were a little kid that you were taught were evil, are they being promoted as good now? Think about that. I can give you a ton of examples, but I don't want to go too long here. But again, we're being sold a bill of goods, right? And the bill of goods is simple, that there is no God. Morality is whatever any man wants to make it. And you have to go along with what other people are doing, okay? So Christianity is a very interesting religion because we can be moral and still tolerate immorality over here, okay? So I can go to church, I can raise my family, I can be a moral guy and do the right thing, and someone over here can be living like hell, and I can accept that. I want them to come live like me, but if they don't, that's their choice. I can be tolerant of immoral behavior outside of my life, okay? The problem is people who are immoral don't have this ability to go into reverse, okay? When they're being immoral and they look at me doing what I'm supposed to from my book, from my Bible, they feel bad because they know down deep they're doing something wrong. So they want me to say that what they're doing is okay. I can't, it's like, don't even ask me, don't bother me. But no, it's not that they can just live and let live like I can. They want me to support their evil behavior. And that's why they label me as a Christian nationalist and say I'm dangerous. Okay? So what are they doing? In America, we have free speech. So they use all the power they can outside of that to silence voices that don't match what they like. Okay? If I say something they don't like, I get attacked or canceled, right? If I say something that's in the Bible, and the current people who are running around, they will dogpile and scream at me to silence me, okay? Or they'll deplatform me to where I'm not on the platforms, right? So that no one else can hear my crazy talk that, I don't go along with whatever they're selling me these days. And the reason all this is occurring is because we are in the latter days, because God said evil will be called good and good will be called evil in the latter days, and that a one world government is going to come along who is going to basically be completely in control of everything. So the government, the one world government, will aspire to deity. We're already seeing it in our nation. They're going to want to control speech, okay? They're going to want to monitor everyone. That's omnipotence. That's using cell phones and cameras and everything to watch everyone. By the way, this already happens in China. In China, you are watched every day you go outside, your phone and everything is monitored, and you're given a social credit score based on if you're compliant with the government. All right? And they're destabilizing us in other ways in this nation that are going to set us up for the one world government. For instance, the interesting idea that just originated a few years ago that gender doesn't really exist. Okay, I'm sorry. I got a Bible that tells me what gender is. I also took high school and college biology. I watch National Geographic. I not only know what gender is, I know what chromosomes are and what they do. And I know how they affect different species, including the human species. So again, these are inconvenient truths. Now, if they want something done, then they'll enforce gender. But if they want something different, they'll say gender doesn't exist. If they don't want me to say something, then they'll either yell me down or they'll silence me to where I can't be heard. But I still have the right to say it, right? It just, nobody can hear it. That's their workaround. And again, this is all part of the end times. And again, being called a Christian nationalist is just one more step in the upcoming persecution of the church. Trust me, there's going to be a day very soon where this gets ramped up really fast on the church. This is just setting the groundwork of, oh, those Christians are bad. They're Christian nationalists. They don't agree with our opinions. Their dangerous ideas are hurting people's feelings. And words are violence. These are the things that they're currently instituting into our youth so that when they come about and they want to employ what they're going to employ, it's much easier to do. And, you can look back at history with the Soviet Union and China. When they became communists, they said the state is the almighty power and there is no God. You are not allowed to worship. And guess what happened to the people that wouldn't accept that? They killed them. They sent them to gulags or to work camps, or they shot them, or they worked them to death, and they sent everyone off. Between China and Russia, they killed 100 million of their citizens who wouldn't accept that the government was God. Think about that. That's something that will happen again if we don't remember what history is. And it's going to happen again because we know in the Bible that it says it's going to start happening when the end times start, when the tribulation starts and the one world government comes in. They're going to go right down the Chinese and Russian playbook, but instead of saying there's no God, they're going to say this guy who's in charge is the God, and you have to worship him. And if you don't, then they'll probably start off with some re-education camps. If that doesn't work, you're out. So hope this was an interesting video for you. Again, Christian nationalism is not a dirty word. It just means you believe in something and you believe in your country, which is exactly what the founding fathers would want you to do. And there's a lot of people who don't believe in God, who don't like the fact that you do. So hope you enjoyed this video. May God bless you and keep you. May He be salt and light in your life. And thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins and rose again so that we can be forgiven.